Hello, it's Greg Allison with Green Greg's coming to you tonight with several stories. We got a lot to cover. It's already really late, so we won't cover everything going on under the sun, including the sun kicking out X-class solar flares and crazy stuff like that. But guys, it is getting crazier by the minute. We've got we got the potential for World War III all around the tree, everywhere you're looking, and we've also got people clamoring for civil war. I kid you not. It's nuts. This is nuts. These are things that we don't need. We don't need any of this. And I even saw an article somewhere, and I couldn't find it, just looking for a few minutes ago, about projections for race war. We don't need that either. We don't need any of this stuff because, guys, we're all the same inside. And we may be conditioned a little different. We may have different worldviews according to the condition and upbringing and how society is trying to frame the way we see things. But quite often, I think they try to divide us against each other so that they can have the spoils at the top. But there may come a time when, indeed, because of differences of folks trying to take away our freedoms, we may have to divide the sheets and split the hickory nuts. But that don't mean we got to throw them at each other, for Pete's sake. Good grief. All right, I ain't want to try to check the chat room right here. I'm going to share some articles you guys will get in a minute. Now, guys, I broke on this channel the whole story about the balloon that got shot down in the Yukon. A lot of you guys were doubting Thomas's about that. Some of you threw, you know what, at me. But guess what? You should go and look on my other channel, my sister's channel, Galactic Greg's. I spilled it all out there. I did not do that a couple of days ago when I had all the breaking stuff because I was asked not to. And a good journalist, when asked not to report sources, will not do it. You like it or not, that's the way you got to operate because you do not want to put your sources at risk. And there was FBI men running around and other people. There's some investigation stuff going on, and it just wasn't time. But over time, because of different chat things out there, they became uncovered, at least the individuals directly. So I showed you the total inside skinny on Galactic Greg's like you will not see it anywhere else. I broke it 2 days before aviation leak in space technology, aviation week in space technology, supposedly broke it according to themselves and a lot of other media sources that gave them credit. So guys, if you want to get some breaking news, I have broke several stories before the media. How do you do that, Greg? Well, because one, I'm connected to 2 separate power grid defense organizations. One of them is actually more of a national security organization. And it's a private organization, guys, very conservative private organization. And I'm connected to, and it's what the Secure the Grid comes to. Go check their website out. And I am a part of Dr. Peter Vincent Price, EMP Task Force on National and Homeland Security. I'm the Alabama State Director for that organization. And furthermore, I am writing and spearheading their balloon weapons technology white paper, which will be briefed to Congress. So, guys, news sometimes starts here. In fact, I have made news, like when I made the Guinness Book of World Records, some of the rocket launches that I directed. And you can see a little bit of that in my previous video I just posted with my dear friend who was featured in Aviation Leak in Space Technologies picture on their website when they supposedly broke the story. A lot of people were doubting Thomas's, but it's all there, guys. It's all there. And I got it, had it all along. In fact, I had it a day before I broke it because I didn't break it right off because I had somebody here had some issues, a lot of talk. And the time I recorded a video, it's past midnight. Usually when you post a top video after midnight, it don't go nowhere. But when you come in and do a live session like this, you guys join in, and because of, I guess, the volume of watching, the algorithms will push it through and it'll survive the next day and get views. Usually a video you post late will tank and won't get any views the next day unless it's a live session. So that's the reason I come in late a lot of nights and talk stuff, because I know it's the only way I'm gonna get the late news in is to go live. So appreciate everybody being here. We got in the room. We've got 69 in the room. Not bad to be after 1 a.m. in the morning my time. So Monique Pearl, Monique, how unique. I like Monique because it rhymes with unique. How do you catch a unique rabbit? Unique up on him. Most of y'all have heard that before. And we got Marvin Fun Time. I always want to say furniture in the house. Arnold. All right, we got a lot of our regulars, new days. Granny, good to see you. Rochelle, let's see. All right, Granny left the first comment. Witness for justice. Yeah, guys. Pickaxe Prepper, how you doing, bud? I have concealed class, carry class today. All right, very good. Spring Break, North Carolina. Yeah, I lived there for a couple of years. Spring Lake, North Carolina. I have definitely stomped those grounds. I've even shown you on one of my videos where one of my house trailers used to be right off Pope Air Force Base. In fact, my trailer was closer to the center of the airfield than either of the ends of the airfield were. So there you go, guys. I've been up close and personal to it. All righty. So let's share some articles. There's something we're going to talk war, Civil War. We're going to talk about. And we'll talk about the balloon a little bit. We're going to talk about the train. We're going to talk about, yeah, society's going crazy. But I'm going to share with you first. It's going to make you mad. I hate to tell you this. I hate to show it to you. You ain't going to believe this. No, you ain't going to believe it. You're going to blow your top when you see this. It is hard to believe. When I saw this, it was like, you got to be kidding me. Oh, I got mad. It's like, you got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Oh my gosh. No, guys, this is horrendous. Hang on. You got to see this because you need to join the Freedom Restoration Foundation. We need to go up and kick some yeehaw in the political side of the spectrum. I mean, these Congress critters, they need to hear from us. And this is a legitimate way for them to hear from us. It's through the legislative and political action process. Nothing illegal. I don't ever call for violence or anything illegal. Don't ever do it. In fact, I always try to rein down that kind of stuff. So I say, we don't need a civil war. We don't need a race war. We don't need all that kind of mess that a lot of people are inside. Oh yeah, I'm going to show you where a major journalist in America is trying to incite this stuff. If you said anything similar to that on YouTube, your channel would be gone forever. How come this guy's not fired? But that ain't what I'm going first. What I'm going to show you first is you are going to be steamed. Hang on, let me just go to share. Ding, ding, ding. You are going to be steamed. Republicans introduce bills, plural, to defund. What? After audit shows it refused to hand over documents. This lab. The United States of America is funding, I don't even want to say the word. It'd be getting me in all kinds of trouble. This lab. Are you kidding me? You have got to be kidding me. Honestly, Lost in Space. We've been there. You've got to be kidding me. The United States of America is funding this today. Almost 3 years after, you know what broke out? Wow. We need to find out who's behind that. Seriously. I mean, guys, this lab is no friend of ours, and the government and the political party of that government, which runs all this, I would say we're already under attack. Well, yeah, and we'll go to that later. We'll talk about fentanyl. We'll talk about bang bangs. And this whole Civil War incitation is related to that in a way that's insane. These guys talk out their garbage. The news media tells you junk statistics, talks garbage, tries to incite war over Bravo Sierra. You know what I'm talking about? Bravo Sierra. What am I talking about, guys? Don't spell it out in the chat room. I wouldn't want to say that in my chat room, guys, but you know what I mean? Bunk, pure bunk. All right. This is a mind blower. I don't have to share this article. You can figure it out enough from right there. You might want to call these guys, Rep. Scott Perry and Senator Joni Ernst, and congratulate them for introducing this bill. And you need to call your congressman and say, hey, you better be on top of this. If you ain't on top of this, bye-bye. Why is this going on? Why is this happening? I have a tent over my feet to help my broken foot heal. Uh-oh. Bless your heart, John. Funded by, yeah. And you know who runs NIAD, right? I know who runs that. How did that man maintain a job through the Trump administration? I don't know. I was screaming every time I see him. Fire him every time I see him on the news. Fire him. Why come you ain't fired this guy yet? Lottie. Hey, the only one that really gave him, you know what, was Rand Paul. Rand Paul would roast his chicken every chance he got. All righty, guys. This is a funny article. This is a funny article. This article was published, just yesterday, which is almost a day still. Somebody hadn't got the news. They still think this thing that went over Canada was a UFO. Lordy, they thought it was a UFO. And they said it defied gravity. It was a balloon. It floats, for Pete's sake. Yeah, Brian, we got to be careful what we say. But yep, what are these people? Who's these people, right? Cassandra Yorgi, wake up, girl. Go watch Green Greg's and especially watch Galactic Greg's tonight. You might learn something. You might learn something over on the Galactic Greg's channel. We know all about these balloons that were taken down, at least the smaller ones. You know all about them, guys. And I gave you all kinds of inside skinny organizations, names, websites, place to go to track them. Yeah. I was asked not to show any of that initially, and a lot of people threw stink at me for that. Well, guess what? You can put your face in it now if you still feel like that. Pentagon intended to shoot it down, guys, over Montana's Beartooth Mountains. But let's see. I don't want to show too much. Because I don't get hit with, you know what. Where is it? Let's see. There's a little phrase I want to share with you guys. Where's it at? I just want to share a phrase. Yikes. I think I already passed it. This is it. But the balloon traveling above 65,000 feet was too high for the jets to take it down. You see this, guys, right here. This is what I was looking for, this phrase. The balloon traveling above 65,000 feet was too high for the jets to take it down. I kid you not, guys. So if one of these things comes over here and it's got an EMP weapon, what are you going to do? Twiddle your thumbs till it goes boom? I kid you not, guys. Lottie, hey, I've flown balloons to 100,000, 115,000 feet. Much higher than this guy was flying. So go check out Galactic Greg's. I also did an interview with Bill Brown sometime earlier on Galactic Greg's. Go check it out, guys. Go check it. Anton, how you doing? EAMs are blasting. Oh, I don't doubt it. Stuff is moving in Europe right now. We may be very much on the precipice of war. I mean, like, it may be started. It may be tomorrow. I mean, Putin's ordered troops to move. According to articles I got, North Korea is really doing a lot of stuff. See, they threw a payload over Japan. It was a lot bigger than what they thought. It shows that they've got a lot more capacity and went farther, had more payload. So they're beginning to say, well, we got to take this little Kim seriously. Anyway, he's also making a lot of new threats. I don't think I pulled that article up. North Korea has been making some very specific threats lately. So we are in perilous times. Hi from us. Hi at A from Australia. Oh, hey, A. How are you? That's what Canadians say. Well, at least out in British Columbia, Western Canada, where they still talk a Cockney. Cockney, I don't do that, but you know, definitely I heard plenty of it when I was driving down through there. A is short. There's a whole lot of A is just shorthand for a bigger phrase, which is
we are owned by guns.
Stop.
Shut up. To stop the mass shooting.
I don't want you talking. Shut up.
The businesses.
How come to stop?
Billions of dollars.
God, I hate it when you open a page and it goes, yeah. It's the worst thing in the world. No page should come out talking when you open it. This is the nutcase. This man, you know who he is, Keith, this man, I'll say his first name, urged the blue states to wage economic civil war on red states, starve red states into submission. Yo, hey, Keith, didn't you not realize where your food comes from? It don't come from the blue states primarily. You got to understand, where do you get your water? Where do you get all your stuff, Keith? But now here's what he's claimed. He has claimed over 600,000 Americans. No, your numbers are way off, way off. See, this is what these guys do. They can publish anything they want to say, make the most outrageous claims, call for the most outrageous stuff, and that's okay, as long as that's their side attacking our side. If you were to hint about that, Anton, this guy is a mess. This man, people should heckle him. He shouldn't even be allowed to walk outside without people just heckling him. Shouting. This is nuts. This man is crazy, trying to incite a civil war over not wanting people to, yeah, right. He is nuts. Well, let me come in here and show you some stuff, guys. We'll show you some stats. Wait a minute, there were stats back here on this page. Let's see, I think. No, that was my search page. Here we go, guys. Oops, I better not show those pictures. Fact check. Are more people taken out, I won't use that word, by hammers and fists than the, this is fact checking. Most fact checking rolls on the side of the left, right? Well, verdict is true. It's true. According to FBI reports, and the fact checks bear it out. So what they're trying to go after is that long black thing I'm highlighting here. That's what they're trying to go after. It's their main target. Their main target, guys. Divide and conquer. You're right, Sid. That is the name of the game. And look, here's the statistics bear it out. That is the one they're going. This is their target. Now that's all riffles, to include the black riffles, the black long nugs. They really hate black long nugs. Isn't that racist? Is the left racist for hating black long nugs? I would say black nugs matter, right? Fist. Yeah, fist. So here it is. Personal weapons, hands, fist, feet. I think hammers fit in there. Let's see. Knives or cutting instruments. Now all that together adds up more than this. Oh, here's blunt object. There's hammers. But hammers and fists together, that's what was what was said, is more people bite the dust from hands and fists together than from riffles. Well, more people from hands and fists than riffles. Narcotics, this number is not right unless it's in the 100,000s, but that's not in the 100,000s. We know better than that. We know the drug overdose death rate in America is 100,000 a year. So by the rates that we're talking about, Mr. Oman talking about 600,000, which that ain't in these numbers. 600,000. He's off by an order of magnitude, an order of 10. If you added all that together, he's off by an order of magnitude 10 times. He's totally wrong. But the people who's biting the dust because of the dust, because of drugs, because of fentanyl, is much higher. So, Mr. Oman, how come you don't want to secure the border? If you really care about lives and people dying, our economy and society being totally shattered by the drugs that are sent here from China through the drug cartels, how come you're not raising total cane about that? It ain't got nothing to do with people. It ain't got nothing to do with your caring about people who ought not kick over. It's a matter of control. Do you want to grab my freedom? In fact, I'm going to need that freedom if those cartels get loose in this country. It's interesting how y'all arm them with Fast and Furious, how y'all take care of the Taliban, but you want to turn the criminals loose You want to defund police and take up our means of self-defense? You got to be crazy. You got to be nuts. You got to be off your rocker, off your gourd. What is wrong with you? When 100,000 people a year are dying because you let the borders run loose like a goose bowels. Yeah. All right, Mr. Oman. You just shut up, Mr. Oman. You don't know jack diddle except how to run your flapper saying stuff that is goofy. Worse than goofy. Inciting violence? Give me a break. Give me a break. And besides, the blue states will never starve the red states. It's the other way around, dummy. It just shows how ignorant you are. You're total ignoramus. All right, enough said about that. Yeah, we checked the numbers. He's totally wrong. Totally wrong, 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 wrong. Anyway, guys. And here we are. Vladimir Putin orders troops to go a shooting. Yeah, to advance in most sectors. Yeah, well, he's forgot the lesson of the strategy. You don't try to advance all sectors at one time. You focus on a sector, and you find a weak spot, and you throw everything into it. Come on, Vladimir, don't you know better yet? Anyway, that was a mistake you made going in the first place. You tried to advance on too many fronts at once. Is that what he's doing again? I thought he would have learned by now. 20's flappers, says Captain Trips. How many Poindexters? There you go, Poindexter. Boy, you've been around. If you remember Poindexter and North, right? Colonel North, Poindexter. All right, we got a bunch of Russian bombers coming here. Oh yeah, they continue to search for the downed objects. Well, we know about those downed objects. I thought about replaying his press briefing. Maybe I should give us something to laugh at. Loudy, loudy, loudy. What is this? I don't think that's what I had open. Oh yeah, the Tennessee National Guardmen. There were, when I was reporting on that, the reports were all saying 6. After that, I've seen 2. I hope it was just 2 and not 6. The early reports all said 6. Reports that came out later were saying 2. Mad, bad, glad. Okay, Anton. All right, so like I said, then we got North Korea threatens military action as South and U.S. plant drills. Well, you know, like Canadian Prepper says, a lot of times the drills are just cover these days. If you're going to do an operation, you got to call it a drill first. But I seriously don't think we're about to hit them. But, you know, it just shows the perilous, risky times. Is showing a lot of flight movement in Russia this morning. Well, we have to go over and check his channel out in a minute, guys. We might just go over and do a call here. Let's see. Biden administration hands. Look here, guys. Look here. Oh, this is the top of the cake. After what labs they funded, would you believe there's a China-linked group that's pushing the ban to ban gas stoves, propane? And who is funding this China-linked group to ban propane? And how much money? Are you kidding me? Wow. I mean, look, guys, does this kind of, this don't frost my cake, it boils my thermometer. Holy guac and smoke a moly. Rocky Mountain Institute, a green energy nonprofit linked to China. Of course, they want us to go green because that means we shut everything down and their factories keep running because ours are shut down. You know, China got exceptions to all this stuff, even though, because they're a developing country, even though China does most of the world's manufacturing and uses the dirtiest coal they can get to do it. What did Rochelle say? New days. Somebody said that's horrible. All right, Kissinger laid the groundwork for all this. Yeah, he did a lot of that. Yeah. What did Rochelle say? Rochelle, we have 2 serial killers here in North Portland, and they aren't telling us about, oh my gosh, because they don't want to cause panic. Wow, Rochelle, that is horrible. Oh my God. No, but they want to defund police. You turn the criminals loose. You arm the cartels. You let the borders wide open, but you can't protect yourselves. You got to be kidding me. Got to be kidding me. I don't know, guys. People have gone nuts. What's Granny saying? Somebody says, speak up. John who, Granny? John Spirit? Oh, guys, we are in nutty times. Sad time. We got 148 in there. That's not bad for this time of night. Gas stove. Yeah, can you believe they don't ban gas stoves? They aren't worth my time. All righty, John. Who ain't worth your time? I'm gonna show that. I'm gonna show it. I don't ban them. I want to say, John, who are you talking to when you said, "But you aren't worth my time"? Who are you talking to, John? And what is the issue? What is the issue? Hey, Jesse, how you doing, bud? How are you doing? If that don't cook, you know, wow. They want to make everything electric. Then overload our grid, fail to harden our grid, and our grid will crash, just like Portland, Oregon. That's the grid they want to take us to. It's going to be, it'll work just as good as civil peace in Portland, Oregon. That's where these guys want to take stuff. It's just crazy, people. I mean, this stuff is nuts. Who would have thought it? Let's go see what's on Lee's channel. Let's see what Lee is talking about. I'll stop the share for a minute. Halo. I gotta go find the YouTube search thing on it. Ding, 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 ding. Maybe to come up automatically. Hope it does. It should. There it is. Oh, he's got us on. He's got my interview from earlier. Nice. Oh, hey, how are you guys? Let's see here. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, does it should. There it is. All right, hang on. Lee is playing my interview from earlier. He's got only 163 people are watching Lee. Oh, wait a minute. That's me. I found myself. What happened here? I thought I was clicking on Lee's channel. All right, let me hit back arrow. I hit the wrong spot. Ding, ding. Whoa, where'd it go? Where'd it go? I thought I saw Lee's channel there for a minute. All right, and let me, oh, I see what's happening. All right, that ain't showing everything on the left like it used to. There we go, KLW World News. Red alert, Russia moving aircrafts and troops toward Finland. Oh my gosh, toward Finland. Ooh, he's trying to bite off a whole lot now. Lord, toward Finland. I thought I could have seen him going after maybe part of Poland or the Baltic states, but Finland? Wow. Wow, Finns have put up a fight. They've done it before. Beware, Rochelle, and be safe and uniform. What's up with Rochelle here? Hey, Ace Lee, he had Canadian prepper on. Oh, he had Canadian prepper on. Lee did? I thought Lee didn't like Canadian prepper. Has he changed his mind? Is he liking him now? All right, let's do this. I am going to go over here and click on this video to open it up, and we're going to share it here in a minute. All right, I got the audio muted at first, so we'll go in muted because he sometimes plays stuff that I can't carry. Let me see if I can open a snippet of it. Oh, this is a NATO briefing, so I shouldn't have no problem. Hang on, guys. We are going to, I got to hit the share button. Give me a second. Lee plays me. I'm going to play him for a minute here. Just see what's cooking here. La, 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 la. Oh, good grief. There's my share button. All right, here we go, guys. Oops, wrong button. That's an EAM being read out right now. Emergency alert message. Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate that. Hello, Greg. Good evening. I'll be safe. Love your way. Well, thank you. How many EAMs today? How many EAMs today? 30 care. All EAMs this frequent occurrence. Oh my gosh, guys, this ain't good.
this frequent or like this. Also, question for all of you who are monitoring this live through your rigs. Is anybody noticing like a 2-pound difference on the signal strength? You know, this is hitting me S7, S8, and I normally get hit at like S6. So it's almost like there's, you know, a couple thousand more watts amplifier on the back of all of these that are coming out tonight. I've never had S9s on my site out of Washington, D.C. And I'm monitoring. I got, by the way, for those of you that got HF rigs at home, put it on 8131 USB. 8131 USB. That is the Russian bomber net voice. So want to track that too. Especially if you've got a receiver in Europe, if you can put that in a different window or something.
All right, I just told them we're watching from this channel. I said, what's happening?
No, that's not it, Brian. That ain't here yet. So, and that's a thing that has to do with solar activity as far as sunspots and so on and so forth. Okay, and I've got a report that Russia has launched a missile in northwest Ukraine about an hour ago. All right, well, hello, Greg. It's going crazy. What we are seeing is, and here I'll bring you in here. You got anything you want to add here, Pepper?
Yeah, I'm just hearing about there was some launches from the Black Sea while we were on the air. Right when we got on, they launched some missiles. Actually, I'm hearing right now, looks like air defense is active in Dnipro and Khmelnytsky. One missile intercepted near Mykolaiv, one intercepted in Zaporizhia. 6 confirmed caliber missiles just posted like 2 minutes ago.
Wow.
So,
all right, so what we have seen here, Greg, just for you, buddy, is, yeah, and we've got green Gregs on here too. Actually, that's what I was talking to green Gregs. He just came into the chat. That's all right.
you got 2 Gregs here. So.
Yeah, I got 2 Gregs, and both of them are on the show. So we have seen more Russian aircraft, and I need to change maps here so that I can show you what we've got where to give you. Okay, so
Oh, me normal.
let me get this up here.
That'll be nice to Granny.
So we've seen more aircraft are being transported here. This is a bomber base in way northern Russia, and they just brought jump aircraft into the area. The aircraft that paratroopers can bail out of. The crazy part about it is it's only 50 miles away from Finland. And so that was moved in. And then down here in Kaliningrad, we had Illusion 2s coming in and landing at the airstrip here, which is already filled with S-300s, S-300s, other fighter jets, and then there's another giant missile facility over here. Plus we've got nuclear missiles over here, more missile launchers, more command and control. I mean, you name it, Kaliningrad's loaded with it. And we've been looking at the defensive systems that the folks in Poland have, but you know, there's nothing over here on the east side, but yet we've seen more and more Russian troops building up here. And this is just across the border, or right next to the border. Plus we have thousands of troops that are stacking up down here in Bryansk. We've got helicopters in the area. We've got armored personnel carriers, trainloads of them. We've got thousands and thousands of troops. This is just 2 miles. This is the Polish border with Belarus. This is where all of these Russian troops are. And if you click on the border and you click where the Russian troops are, 2.2 miles, 2 miles. So they're not far from the border at all. And we've seen a massive amount of surveillance aircraft flying back and forth along in here. The crazy part about it is, with all these thousands of troops here, all they have to do is come here and get on this highway right here, P94 and P17. They can come right up here and get on the 2, come right across the border, straight into Poland, and drive this road. It's only 100 and some miles. There's no military bases between here and there. And they can drive all the way over and come straight into, ta-da, Warsaw. They can be there in a matter of a couple hours. And guess what? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think there's a damn thing that Poland or NATO could do anything about.
Wow. Wow. Guys, it can get into
So let's see here.
Stalingrad. Yep. Kaliningrad.
So anything else you want to add there? Pepper?
I guess it would depend on what kind of force they send in. I mean, Poland has a couple hundred Leopard tanks. I don't know the exact number, but they have like a couple hundred Leopards, and then they have modernized T-72s. They have some new artillery. They're still waiting on a lot of stuff, but they could hold off, you know, a small force until NATO reinforcements come in. The question is how many reinforcements come in, and I know most of the NATO reinforcements are in Western Poland because they didn't want to agitate Russia, so they put all the brigade combat teams from the US, the rotational deployments, they're all in Western Poland, which is like not super far, but you know, with armored vehicles, you know, by car it's a couple hours. With armored vehicles, I'll probably double that, right? But yeah,
At least
That would
double
be
that
like-
if you're talking
that'd be
about
like
trying to move armor.
Sid, we don't use that language on my channel. I hid you. And if you do that again, I'll knock you out of the channel. We don't use that kind of language on my channel. This is a family channel. You might have been kidding and having fun, but don't use that language on my channel. I have a family channel. I don't allow that.
Okay, and the vast majority of these troops are over along in here.
So New York Prepper, that Greg was talking about the tanks that Poland has, but they got to be in the right place. It takes a while to mobilize a tank. If there's a line wide open, why would they have the main road from Russia's troops that wide open? That's crazy. I mean, that's a total lack of foresight.
Okay,
looks cool.
so there's the F-22s. So the F-22s are here, and these are the other bases that are up here. And I'm going to do the remainder of these bases that are over here.
Okay,
But the fact of the matter is, these guys over here are light mech.
right.
Okay, so light mech can get from here to there a hell of a lot faster than they can get from over here to there.
Right, there's one actually, right where you were pointing, there's the big base there, Zagan.
Yeah.
It's right in that area. I'd have to look it up, but it's right, it's pretty far. I mean, it would
Yeah, it's a long way.
take them a couple hours. Yeah, it's the other side of the country.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
there it is. You
no,
see?
but it's not a matter of taking them a couple hours. They're not setting in the trucks. They don't
Right.
have the tanks loaded on the backs of the
Right.
trucks.
Right, they're not.
The
a quick
troops are
reaction
not
force.
there. They're not. We're talking 12 to 24 hours until shit would start rolling out of there.
Well, the base is actually south of this. If you look, zoom out just a little more, just go up, like zoom out, or zoom out so I could see more around it. If you go down, you see Zagan, that little town there. So it's right there. Yep. If you zoom in, you can actually see that that's the big base there where they had U.S. brigade combat teams. I know they have Strikers, Abrams, you know, the whole nine over there. That's a major one. But that was like the first base when they were sending in the brigade combat teams from Fort Carson, they were sending them over there.
250 miles the way the crow flies. That's over 300 miles away.
Yep,
That's more than 3 times farther away
yep,
than the Russians are.
yep.
So the Russians could come all the way across and go all the way around Warsaw before troops from over there would get there.
That's nuts. They can't
That
do
would be insane. You might not see me then. I might have to go over there.
Or you can pack me in your luggage, just don't tell my wife. So, yeah, well, again, it's going to be really interesting, no matter how it plays out.
Well, historically, they've always tried to come that way. The only good thing is that there's a small natural barrier on the east side of Warsaw. You have the Vistula River, which was always a barrier when the Bolsheviks tried to come through. They couldn't cross the Vistula 100 years ago. They stopped the Bolsheviks at the river there and pushed them back. So that's like the only natural barrier really is that river there. And it's not super wide, but it is decent wide. It's not like the Dnieper or anything, but it's a good sized river.
Well, they do have, and if you pay attention, they do have trucks up here with pontoons right there.
Pontoons, yep.
Pontoon bridges right there.
Yep.
So they've already brought them over. So, and we couldn't figure out why the hell they were doing that.
There's a lot of rivers in that whole area. You got a lot of major rivers running through, like, Baltics, Poland, lots and lots of rivers. So
Yeah, it's going to be real interesting. Real interesting. All right, so Greg, Green Greg's, you got any more questions? And yes, it is indeed absolutely nuts. It would be nothing short of a clusterfuck. Can I show it? Yes, absolutely. I can show the air base next to Finland again. It is right here. So again, this is 50 miles. So from here, there's the border, and there, excuse me, 100 miles. 95 miles to the air base. And on the air base, we've got bombers, helicopters, bomber, helicopter.
Troop
I
planes,
think they're transports.
maybe transports.
And then we've got more
Wow.
bomber. And bomber.
Wow.
And bomber. What a bummer, all the bombers. Yeah. And this is where they're taking the troop transporter effect to.
Not good.
Yeah, it is NATO territory. The issue is how fast can they respond? That's the question. Stephen, obviously you know nothing about how the nuclear weapon systems in Russia work. Maybe you should study that before making a fool of yourself in my chat. So yeah, it's getting pretty crazy. Getting pretty crazy. All right, so let's get back to you. Anything else you want to add there, Pepper?
Well, one thing I want to mention is just like warfare strategy is like, everybody thinks that Russia has to go into the Baltic and they have to conquer the whole thing, otherwise it's a failure. And that's not true. Even if they go into the Baltics, but they get crushed, let's say NATO responds and they crush them, that still gives NATO something to deal with while Putin can focus on the Ukrainians, you know, because now NATO is going to have to focus on that. You know, they're not going to be just only thinking about Ukraine. Now they're going to have two things to worry about, you know, an attack on NATO and, you know, Ukraine. So just from a, you know, military planning point of view, and I'm not like a student of, you know, West Point or anything, but just common sense, you know, just something to think about.
All right, and Greg has asked the question here, what do I think Russia is going to do? I think Russia is going to try to hit in as many different places as they can simultaneously. They're going to try to do a very complex jujitsu move, something relative to SRC, which is source reactive combat, something that a friend of mine actually invented. And that is where you hit your opponent in multiple places simultaneously. Exactly, J Command. They tried this last time. And yes, it does look like they are either going to attack NATO, or they are going to attack Finland, or they're going to attack all of the Baltics simultaneously. They could hit, look, this is, let's look at the map. Okay, so where do they have troops? Where are they moving troops right now? Where are they moving them to? Well, real simple, right here, along with aircraft for troops to jump out of. Why do you move aircraft to jump troops out of up here in the middle of the wintertime? We're in February, folks. This is not jumping weather. Okay, so why would you move them to Finland now, along with flights of folks coming out of Moscow? Why are you moving aircraft that haven't been moved in 2 years and flying those aircraft into airfields that are full of missiles in Kaliningrad? We've seen thousands and thousands of troops flown into Kaliningrad. We've got thousands of troops lined up right here, just 2 miles from the Polish border. This is the exact same thing that we had Russia do in Belarus prior to attacking Ukraine. And, well, if you want Jesus to return, then call Jesus on the phone and see if he can come by and pick you up. But that's your issue there, Scotty. Please leave that shit out of my chat. So we've got more troops come over here into Pinsk. We have got more troops up here. We've got artillery battalions up here. We've got tanks driving around in the streets over here. Train loads of equipment moving in. Multiple launch rocket tour systems over here. We've got the Russian AWACS aircraft over Minsk. We have got the S-300s up here in a neighborhood, folks. This truck is actually in a neighborhood up here. It's not in the middle of the woods. So it's absolutely insane with all of the equipment that they're moving up here. And if you look at the map in total and what's going on, you will see that all in all, more armor, more tanks, more armored personnel carriers, more trucks, more helicopters, and so on and so forth have been moved into Belarus than have been moved into eastern Ukraine. Now, there is this update here of all of these different troops that have been put in here along the border.
Well, that says a lot. They're moving more up against NATO than the Ukraine.
Up, there's thousands of troops there that have been put in to the east side of Bakhmut.
That sounds like World War III,
Russia
guys.
wants that. That's why they've cut off the folks from Wagner. They want their own guys to do it. They don't want Wagner to get credit for it. So a lot going on here. So anything you want to add there before I jump back to the brief with Sullenberg?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. So, all right, so yeah, let's get back to Sullenberg and see what he has got to say here. So hit that thumbs up, folks, if you have not already.
Victor Nemlin, Swedish news agency TT. Following your doorstep yesterday,
cooperation with industry. It is almost 1 year since Russia launched its full-fledged invasion of Ukraine, the biggest conflict in Europe since World War II. And we see no signs that Russia is preparing for peace. On the contrary, Russia is launching new offensives. Yesterday, Defense Minister Resnikov updated NATO ministers on the situation and Ukraine's most urgent needs. I welcome the new pledges of support made by NATO allies, including more heavy weapons and military training.
All right, sorry to interrupt the brief there, but check this shit out. What is this P8 doing? Anybody ever seen a search pattern like this from a P8? He's looking for something, folks. He ain't just cruising. He's looking for something. And here's this guy. He cut his transponder on earlier and then cut it back off. There's a 135 getting ready to take off out of there. And it's funny how they blow this out. Isn't it? Just thought I'd bring your attention there. A lot going on, folks. Pay attention.
This is critical. Ukraine has a window of opportunity to tip the balance, and time is of the essence. I want to thank allies for the significant contributions, including the NATO.
Yeah, I thought about doing
package.
I thought about doing a video on
This is providing
Seymour Hirsch.
food, fuel.
I actually made a whole text file, but it's so long, but man, I've been taking me forever to go through all this.
And amphibious bridges.
I read,
Ministers also discussed.
I still may do it.
commitment to our
I did.
other
It's
partners
20-something
at
pages,
least,
I think.
including Bosnia
It's
and
either 19 or
Herzegovina,
21.
Georgia and Moldova. And we agreed to step.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
next.
Scott, you're right. And we'll be talking
Yeah,
all
we
about.
committed an act of war on
ACs
Russia,
when it gets
so I'm
here, but
expecting
because
something to
you
happen.
Listen. you
How
won't be
much, I don't
talking
know.
in our chat. Have a nice life.
Step up tailored support to enhance their defense capabilities, resilience, and interoperability with NATO. Today, allies took steps to further strengthen NATO's deterrence and defense. Since our historic Madrid summit, we have been making good progress, boosting our forward defenses.
You're right, Arnold. Watch,
creating a readiness
anybody
and
should
defense
watch my video on
stance.
Galactic Gregs. You'll see how it can be done.
Agreed new guidance for NATO's defense planning. This reflects
Thank you for that,
the
Arnold.
reality that we live in a more dangerous world.
Well, no
With
kidding,
Russia's
Captain Obvious.
aggressive behavior, the persistent threat of terrorism, and the challenges posed by China. NATO's defense planning will drive capability changes for the years to come and ensure that our deterrence and defense remain strong and credible. Ministers also addressed ways to boost industrial capacity and replenish stockpiles of armaments and munitions. NATO allies are providing unprecedented support to help Ukraine push back against Russia's aggression. At the same time, this is consuming an enormous quantity of allied ammunition and depleting our stockpiles. Allies agree on the need to work hand in hand with the defense industry to ramp up our industrial capacity. We are ready and we are reviewing NATO capability targets for munition stockpiles. And I welcome the important multinational projects agreed by allies today. These include a project on ammunition warehousing, which will support the pre-positioning and stockpiling of allied ammunition, as well as a project on ground-based air defense. Today, ministers also addressed the security of critical undersea infrastructure. The sabotage of the Nord Stream pipelines has reminded us all of the vulnerabilities we face. Ministers tasked the NATO military authorities to provide advice on what more we should do, including through better coordination and cooperation with the private sector. And I am standing up a critical undersea infrastructure coordination cell here at the NATO headquarters, led by Lieutenant General Hans Werner Biermann, a highly respected former German military officer. It will facilitate engagement with industry and bring
Yeah,
key
Seymour Hersh is old. Yeah, he's reporting on the Vietnam War years ago.
share best practices, leverage innovative technologies, and boost the security of our undersea infrastructure. At our summit in Vilnius, leaders will take further decisions to ensure that NATO can effectively coordinate between military, civilian, and private sector to secure our critical undersea infrastructure. As we continue to adapt our
Nord Stream.
lives, we need to
It'll be
have
hard.
the right resources. So ministers also discussed the importance of investing in defense. More countries are now spending at least 2% of the GDP on defense. And 2022 was the 8th consecutive year of increased defense spending by European allies and Canada, with an additional investment of $350 billion. This trend is expected to continue this year, but more needs to be done. So today, allies discussed how to build on the defense investment pledge and future commitments beyond 2024.
You're kidding, Marvin.
NATO leaders will take decisions on this at our next summit in Vilnius.
Man, I can't
With that,
spell.
I'm
I
ready
left
to
the D
take
out of
questions.
world.
Start with the BBC.
Very much, Secretary General Jonathan Beale, BBC News. You started this meeting and the head of the contact group saying that you make the point that Ukraine is using and Russia using.
Amen,
huge amounts of
Tim.
ammunition.
Eyes
You
wide up,
repeated
head
that
on swivel.
just now, and you warned about NATO's own stockpiles of ammunition, that production needed to be ramped up. First of all, have any
Hey, my great grands were in the Civil War.
actually now committed
War
to
between the
ramp up their
states. My
production,
granddad
apart
was in
from the
World War I.
US and France, which you mentioned earlier, signing a new contract?
Phone dying. Okay,
And the
Jesse,
second
thanks for joining us.
question is, you know, we get a message from Lord Austin, US Defense Secretary, that Ukraine is getting what it needs. But what you're suggesting is that Ukraine might not get what it needs, that it will run out of artillery shells, tank shells, for example. So are you worried that Ukraine could run out of ammunition? in
Those
the coming
naval
months?
divers were out of the,
So what we see
Station there in
is
Pensacola,
an enormous expenditure of ammunition, and we have seen that for several months. And that's also the reason why we actually started to address that last fall. We convened
Jason.
with meetings with the defense industry. We addressed this issue in different NATO capitals, and now we see that things are actually moving in the right direction. Yes, the United States, France have signed the contracts, but also other allies, Germany, Norway, and there are also others who have already signed contracts with the defense industry, meaning that production is now ramping up. And that is making a huge difference. And partly it's possible to increase.
I'm getting out of that. I think we've heard enough. We've heard enough of that stuff. Holy guac and smoke-a-moly, guys. Holy guac and smoke-a-moly. If y'all don't think that we might not have a major conflagration, if you don't think we're in an era of risk, then you're not paying attention. You're just not paying attention, guys. I mean, when you got people calling for a civil war right here, and whilst we're considering fighting Iran, Russia, North Korea, and China, holy guac and smoke-a-moly. Back to family time. That's right. Back to family time. My uncle got his Silver Star in Vietnam. Good for him. I think I served under Stonewall Jackson. Well, if I was there, I would have done it. Lordy, folks. Lordy. We're in a heck of a time. Panama City. Yeah. Oh, you're from Panama City, northern part of Partisan. Okay. Yeah, that if you saw the boat that we launched the Hart Cat Supplies balloon from, that came out of Panama City. It was a Captain Blackwell or Blackman that ran it, and he it was the Mr. Offshore, and we ran that we rented it from a private company that mainly most of the time leased it out to the Naval Intercoastal System Station. So that boat was rented to the Navy through the weekdays, and we rented it on the weekend. Mine did in the Civil War. I'm related to Devil Ants Hatfield. Okay. Devil Ants. Hey, listen, I worked with the guy, last name Hatfield. He came from that area, and yeah, he was related too. All righty. Lordy, lordy, looks like a carbon copy of Vladimir Lenin. Ooh, who dat? Well, Vladimir Lenin is still laying. You can see his body. They got him pickled there in a building on the edge of Red Square. I was at Red Square, and I thought about going in and see what that old guy looked like, but there was a huge line. And it's like, nah, I ain't not gonna wait in line to see Vladimir Lenin. Didn't want to do it. It was kind of late, and I didn't want to stand around. I was born. You were born in Redstone Arsenal, 1967. You know, we don't even have a hospital there anymore. It used to be the Fox Army Hospital, and then they made it a medical clinic. So 67. I was 7-year-old then, Mike. Yeah, we used to have a lot more troops at Redstone Arsenal, especially back when they had the ordnance school there. But it's mainly an engineering and test center now. There's just a few troops, but very few. General Lee, both sides. All right, Arnold Smith. Ian Watts. Hello from Australia. All right, Ian, good to see you from Australia. They did. Did they find all those in Iraq? No. Of course not. Scooby Snacks. Good to have in the house, Scooby Snacks. Wheat comes out before the tears. Alrighty, guys. I think we've kind of beat on this stuff enough tonight. Listen, we're getting more people joining. The later we go, the more people join. Man, if I kept this going to 4 o'clock in the morning, I'd probably have 700. It'd be a record. And we're pretty high right now for my channel. 700 if we just stayed in all night, right? It'll be another crowd. Ammunition's going to run out. Yeah, we're running low. We're running. That's what Stottlemyre was talking about. Yeah. All right. None. 65. What's up, Lost in Space? I keep that tune. I like it though. The Lost in Space tune. Danger, danger, danger. ZZ Top is great. There you go. 222. I got 224 now. 222. 224 now. Just got home from work. Okay, James. We got James. Europe, 9:15. Where in Europe are you, Pablo? Might be experimenting then. Oh, yeah, hit the like button. Thank you for that news. All right, where's everybody from? We're probably going to go here in a little bit. Where's everybody from tonight? Be sure to go watch Galactic Greg's. Go subscribe to it and watch that video. I may put it up here later, I may not. I did record it this time, but guys, I broke the news on that balloon got shot down in Yukon. I said it was a party balloon. I knew who it belonged to. I showed you a picture of one just like it. And a lot of people threw stink at me. They wanted to call the Bravo Sierra on me. Well, you know what? They can have that Bravo Sierra back and stick her face in, because I had all the scoop, all the news, all the people. And I knew I would share it in time, but it was just a little hot in the kitchen time. And I respect my sources. That's what you do. Journalism, a journalist is supposed to protect his sources, and they did not want to be reported at that time. But Tennessee, okay, very good. We got Phoenix, Arizona, Port Lava. Oh, what was that at? Madison, Alabama, DPK. Hey, did I know you, DPK? Yeah, you're close here. All right, Augustine, Florida. Live in Spain. Okay, Pablo, very good. But you're from Argentina. How about that? Down with the corruption. Yeah, we don't need any corruption. All righty. Minnesota, Carrie Z. Houston, Texas. I got kids and grandkids down there near Houston, north of Houston Mountains, in British Columbia, Canada, Earth-based one. You know, I used to have a ginormous wall map of British Columbia. I mean, it was huge. I couldn't even put it all on the floor at one time, because I was planning to hobo me some trains up there and live in the mountains up there. That was my goal when I was in high school, was to hide up British Columbia, up there with Bigfoot, close to Sweden. All right, Singapore. All right, Singapore. Yeah, we got somebody else comes in here from Singapore a lot. Queensland, Oz, Scooby Snacks. Scooby Snacks. Is Scooby Snacks gone? Somebody's commented. I missed it. Scooby Snacks. Oh, okay. QLD. Murray, Kentucky. Greg Smith. Fort. I can't even pronounce it. South of Houston, Texas. I can't even pronounce that. Chad. Fort. Avoca, is that right? New Jersey. I used to have a friend in the Army who was a Peruvian who had lived in New Jersey. He always called it New Jersey. I was at Fort Greely, Alaska. That's I can't remember the guy's name. He'd always called New Jersey, New Jersey. All right. Oh, it's not the total agree. What was that all about? Hey, Gandalf, says Dr. Ganjamin. Hey, Ashley, there we go. I got Singapore there, Scooby Snacks. Bahrain. Oh, okay. How's things going there now? China balloon factory. Yeah, China's got a huge balloon factory. They're talking about putting out thousands of balloons. We're not ready for that here in America. We are not anywhere close to being ready for that. That would be huge trouble, because we don't have any defense for it, really. Deep in the forest. Well, Blue Moon, move over. I need to come up there. Welcome to QLD Australia from Brisbane. All right. So Ian Watts. Only 93 more balloons needed to go by. Oh, Lord. Oh, sounds good right by now. No kidding. Oh, it does. Loud, guys. It does sound good. Don't have the missiles. Yeah, they probably don't have much aimed at them. So a lot of people are going to New Zealand, further down away from everything. Yikes, 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 guys. Prep, guys. If y'all haven't seen, check out my prepwithgreg.com. If you're not prepping, you're not paying attention, guys. Still can't go to sleep. Uh-oh. Well, that's worrisome. If you although the name like that, and if you're worrying, no wonder. That's worrisome. You better run. Oh God. Say my name. Oz is on my list. There you go, Granny. Heading there. Albany, Oregon. All right, Captain Trips. Yeah, we got some late night shows. Only time I can find time to do them. Oh, used to live in Tuscaloosa, right down the road. And now you're in Singapore. Okay. Tuscaloosa. And my dad used to own some land close to Tuscaloosa. Argentina. Second Amendment should allow us to say that, yeah, amen. Have Sam's. Amen. Amen. I want an M1 tank. Not the rifle, not the rifle, but the tank. Central QLD in the boonies. All right, Scooby Snacks, that sounds good. In the boonies, that's where I need to be. I got a boonie place in Arizona. Yeah, get ready, guys. Prep. There you go. My page supply, guys. Check that out. New Days posted. You can go to prepwithgreg.com and get you there too. Anywhere else out there? Hey, I'm about to start growing mushrooms, guys. If you hadn't heard, the lion's mane has been shown to grow neurons. So it's awesome, guys. Let's call it a night. A lot of times I would go on to Swivelhead News, but we went long on Galactic Greg's 2 hours in that show. We've been in here over an hour. I think it's time to call it a night. Yeah, well, a black powder thing, they don't even consider that a nug anymore. For some, hey, I appreciate that, Albany, Oregon Skywatcher. When tyranny becomes law, ooh, Hey, Keith Oberman, look at this message, Keith Oberman. Wake up, goose. Keith Oberman. The tyranny becomes law, becomes deed. I can't even say all that on this channel. In fact, I might get in trouble for talking about the Keith. Oops, I said his last name, so I'm both together. Ooh. Yes. Yes. Hey, Thomas Jefferson, you can get in trouble. Hey, John, how you doing? John, it's about to hit the fan big time. Big time, John. It's looking like lion's mane is amazing. Amen. I've had some lion's mane here. I hope I can get it restarted. I'm hoping I can get more spores. Black powder. I love black powder. I built black powder rifles when I was a kid. Ooh. Man, I'm gonna get in trouble talking. Yep, I built a Hawkins rifle. Riffle. Yeah, appreciate that super chat. Amen. AI, yeah, I worry more about the man behind the curtains though when it comes to AI, or some kid in grandma's basement, some snot-nosed kid in grandma's basement that hacks it all and becomes the queen bee, or king bee, whatever. We used to have a Chewbacca called King Bee. You remember that? Who remembers King Bee Chewbacca? It's a twist. I like the Red Ox. It was stronger. I grind that stuff up and smoke it in a pipe. Then you hand that pipe to somebody and you would watch them turn green. And they would go, woo, 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 woo. Crash. Already, yeah. Yeah, get prepped, guys. Do everything you can. Seriously. Keep your keep your gas tank. We need to talk about this more in general, guys. Do everything you can. Yeah, exactly, Marvin. Love your family. Make sure you tell your loved ones you love them. You never know when your last chance is. And it could just because you have an automobile accident. Anything could happen. We're never guaranteed the next breath. Either you are a hammer or a nail. Except to a hammer, the whole world looks like nails. When there's equinox in the spring and fall, it'll be like March the 19th or 20th, somewhere in that area. The next one. Let's check what's considered the first day of spring, and that'll be equinox. First day, last day of winter, first day of spring. Albany, Oregon, Sky Watcher. Very well. All right, guys, let's call it a night. And I think all of you are all right. Thank you, everyone. I really want to thank everybody for coming here. I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you for the super chat, Albany. Thank you so much for that. Albany, Oregon, Sky Watcher. Good quote. Very good quote. 21. Oh, 21 what new days? Turned 21 in prison, doing life without parole. Mama tried to raise me right. I was like, I get it all mixed up. It's late. I need to write lyrics. Anyway, be the windshield, not the bugs. There you go. Exactly. Exactly. All right, guys. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all very much. Thank you, Albany, for the super chat. Thank you, mods, just everybody. But go tell your family you love them. Love and arms. There you go. And hug your nug. Have you hugged your nug today? Be the light. As light dispels darkness, love dispels hate. Go out and shine your love light in the world. We need to turn this thing around, guys. Spring equinox. Exactly. It'll be coming soon.